In this lesson, we'll be creating a lines and squares pattern in AutoCAD. So first thing we want to do is go ahead and analyze this drawing. And you're going to see a lot of concentric squares and some hatch lines going around it. So the way that I would do this is I'm going to go ahead and make a square with a rectangle. But instead of starting at my normal 0, 0, I want this to be around the 0, 0 in the center. So I'm going to basically type in for this 3" by 3" square minus 1.5 and then minus 1.5 on the x and the y, and that'll be giving me my first point, which is essentially at the bottom left of my 0. And then for the other coordinate, I'll go ahead and type in 1.5 comma 1.5. So obviously that should be a 3" square. So let's go ahead and just verify that. But seeing it's 3 inches by 3 inches, and so my center is at 0, 0. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our dimension styles, because I already know that the default is not set properly. So we're going to make sure that the precision is at the, right now for the tenths, 0.0 or hundredths here. All right, so there we go, 0.0 tenths. And the drawing has one that's also in the hundredths, but we can change that. And so let's go ahead and dimension this, and I'm going to verify the dimensions, but I'm also going to try to replicate what that drawing is. So I'm pulling the dimensions a little farther out than usual. Okay, so that looks good. Now, rather than do this again with a rectangle, I'm just going to offset this. And if I go to the ribbon above, you'll see the offset tab on that icon. But I'm going to go ahead and just type in offset and press enter. And it is 1/4 of an inch from each other. So the nice thing is all you do, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, is click, point my mouse inside of it. Then I can keep clicking, and there's 6 of these. Right, so I don't have to do that whole procedure again. So do it 6 times. And I have gone ahead. Now this saves us a lot of time. So if you didn't do the offset, you try to do it by recreating every single rectangle. It can be take a lot of time. Now this time I'm going to go polygon, and I'm going to number of sides 4, press enter, and the center is going to be 0, 0. That's easy because I set that up already. But this time I'm going to go circumscribed about circle. And then all I do is click on the corner, and it's all done for me, right? So it's very handy. I don't have to rotate anything. Just go ahead and take a look at this drawing. And you're going to see what we call hatch marks on the outside. And so the easiest way to do this is to type in hatch, press enter, and then I'm going to go to settings here. And I've already done this, but you want to try to change the type to user defined. And then the angle I've changed to 0, and the spacing defaulted at 1, and I'm defaulting this to 0.25 or 1/4, right? So that's the spacing. And then all you do is select that area that AutoCAD has already designated for you. And the lines are going on the x-axis, so they're going on 0. Now this time I want to change the settings, so the lines are going up on the y-axis, or up and down. So I'll type in hatch, I'll go to settings, and just all I need to do now is change that to 90, and push OK. And AutoCAD already knows what that area is. I click out of it, all right? And so now the challenge is we've created essentially a set object. Now you'll notice if I want to put the dimensions in here, so let's go ahead and put these dimensions, it won't snap to anything because it's actually one big object, that whole area. So I can click as much as I want and nothing's going to happen. So the way to fix that is this. Let's go ahead first, and we're going to change the dimension style I'll go to modify. I don't need to hit set current. I'll click modify. And I'm just going to change the precision to hundredths and say close. That's not going to affect the other ones. And it's not going to work, right? So what I need to do is escape it. And then I simply either click on the explode icon or type in explode. Now we don't want to do everything. I guess we could, but we're just going to select this certain area here of hatching and press enter. Now it's all individual pieces. So the thing that keeping it is nice because I can go back and change that the hatching if I wanted to. But I've killed that function here, so I can't go back. And then I'm going to go type in 0.25 typical. So it's giving me the 0.25, but I need to change that because I'm trying to replicate the drawing. So essentially what I'm going to do is just write my own text in here. And so TYP period, and then I'm going to have to delete this portion of it because it's got that 0. And so I'll go ahead and delete that. I'll type in 0.25 and I'll delete what AutoCAD gave me. All right, so I'm getting pretty close here to being done. So everything looks good. The only thing I need to do now is carefully select everything. And I don't want to select the dimensions. And so I'm going to be very careful about this. And I'm going to change the line weight. All right, so I'll either right click and go to properties, or I can access properties in the modify on the menu bar above. And so line type, it says varies. We're going to basically just keep it all the same. But I'm going to change the line weight here to 0.5 millimeter. And again, you kind of need to experiment on how your output looks. And then on the bottom bar, go ahead and select that and hit escape. And I'm going to inspect this drawing. And I've essentially completed the exercise. So go through, make sure that there's spacing in between the dimensions and the parts. And you have completed the AutoCAD lines and squares pattern lesson.